The story of Israel is an epic tale of faith, exile, and return, stretching back thousands of years. It begins in the ancient land of Canaan, a crossroads of civilizations on the Mediterranean coast. According to tradition, this is the land God promised to Abraham, launching a journey that would define a people and give birth to the world's first monotheistic religion. Generations later, after enslavement in Egypt, Moses led the Israelites out in the Great Exodus, receiving the Ten Commandments and forging a national identity in the desert. Their return to the Promised Land led to the rise of a unified kingdom under figures like King David, who made Jerusalem his capital, and his son Solomon, who built the first temple, the spiritual heart of the nation. But this golden age didn't last. The kingdom fractured, and waves of conquerors, Assyrians, Babylonians, and finally the Romans, swept through the land. The temples were destroyed, and the Jewish people were scattered across the globe in a great exile known as the diaspora. For nearly 2 millennia, they lived as minorities in foreign lands, often facing persecution, yet they never lost their connection to their ancestral homeland, a memory kept alive in prayer and scripture. This deep-rooted dream of return remained a cornerstone of Jewish identity through centuries of wandering. The 19th century was a game-changer. As nationalism swept across Europe, the idea of a Jewish state transformed from a religious hope into a political movement called Zionism. This was fueled by brutal anti-Semitism, from the violent pogroms in the Russian Empire to the infamous Dreyfus Affair in France, which convinced many Jews they would never be safe without a nation of their own. Visionaries like Theodor Herzl organized the movement, and small waves of Jewish pioneers began immigrating to Palestine, then a sparsely populated region of the decaying Ottoman Empire. They purchased land, established farming communities, and began laying the groundwork for a new nation. After World War I, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and Britain took control of Palestine under a mandate. In 1917, the British issued the Balfour Declaration, supporting the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This ignited hope for Jews, but sparked alarm among the local Arab population, setting the stage for a century of conflict. As Jewish immigration increased, tensions escalated into violence. The situation reached a breaking point with the rise of Nazi Germany. The horrors of the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews were systematically murdered, made the creation of a safe haven an urgent, desperate necessity for the survivors. With the British Mandate ending in 1948, the United Nations proposed a plan to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. Jewish leaders accepted it, but Arab nations rejected it. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel. The celebration was short-lived. The very next day, armies from 5 neighboring Arab countries invaded, determined to destroy the newborn state. Against all odds, in a desperate war for survival, Israel won. However, the victory came at a great cost, creating a massive Palestinian refugee crisis and a legacy of bitterness that endures to this day. In the decades that followed, Israel fought several more wars, including the 1967 Six-Day War, where it captured the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and Golan Heights, dramatically redrawing the map of the region. This victory turned Israel into a regional military power, but also made it an occupying force over millions of Palestinians. The ongoing conflict gave rise to the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, and led to decades of violence, including uprisings known as the Intifadas. Moments of hope, like the 1993 Oslo Accords and the historic handshake between Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and PLO leader Yasser Arafat, ultimately failed to bring lasting peace. Today, Israel is a land of stark contrasts. It is a vibrant, modern democracy and a global hub of technological innovation, the startup nation. Yet, it remains locked in a seemingly intractable conflict with the Palestinians and faces persistent threats from regional powers like Iran. Its history, from ancient prophets to modern-day programmers, is a powerful testament to resilience. It's a story of a dream fulfilled, but one that continues to grapple with the profound challenges of building a secure future in a deeply contested land.